Hello everyone. To make this one a bit quick, but I've got a bit of a late start today, so I thought I'd talk about a subject that has concerned not only myself but a lot of people around the world. And I've been seeing a lot of articles, a lot of information, a lot of acts being signed, just in general a lot of stuff that is quite worrying. And what I'm talking about is the digital ID era that we are potentially entering. The reason this concerns me is that it's becoming more prevalent around the world, and that acts are going to start being signed all over the world. Now, I did know that it was going to be ventured in Australia and the UK and somewhat the US, but now I'm hearing, oh, it's coming, and I'm just thinking, wow, I hope not, thanks. And I don't, just make this clear, I don't want to sound like I'm one of those people that's heavily against the government having my IDs and all that, because, well, remember, if you live in any self-respecting country, they do have your IDs. They are usually the people that issue you your ID. It's the fact that a lot of the governments around the world are introducing these ID-based acts and all this equipment and stuff that all the software that is owned by third-party companies that have no involvement in the government itself. And basically, that's where I draw the line. I mean, why should a third-party government have access to my ID? I mean, sure, they may have really good intentions, but I can't guarantee that their security is going to be as good as an actual government. I'm not saying the government always have our interests at heart, but for the most part, they're going to have more interests at heart for us under most scenarios than a third-party company. But the main thing that I'm worried about is that if we give them all this personal data, all these IDs, our addresses, phone numbers, all that stuff, how long is it going to take for hackers to start leaking all this data, like breach all this data from these companies, and then essentially you've got this worldwide identification fraud thing going on, and money theft. It's not good. It doesn't look good, and it doesn't seem to look any better the longer you look at it. A more personal example would be the proposed eRUC system that they're thinking of bringing in. What the hell are you doing? Interesting. It's just sort of sitting there. The proposed eRUC thing that's going on. Oh, he's waiting for me to go past. The proposed eRUC, this is the third time I'm saying it, eRUC thing going on here in New Zealand, where they want to change our means of paying tax on fuel to RUCs like the other vehicles, so EVs and diesels. Sure, okay, that's fine. It doesn't work out any cheaper the way that they're charging us for it, because obviously petrol is generally more valuable than diesel, especially here. But what they also want to do is trial all these devices that get plugged into your car, and they do the recording of the kilometres and where you drive, and so the idea is that you only pay for the roads you drive on. The problem then is the same identity fraud and potential breach of privacy that comes along with that, and that really concerns the shit out of me. So yeah, that's what I'm worried about in particular. It's just, sure, you want to do this and it has this benefit in your eyes, and not really, it's probably not what they're thinking about, but you haven't considered how the how it affects us, and also remember it's not being done directly through the government either. It's been done through a third party, which means that a third party is handling your data. A third party has your ID through the government, for the government, but it's a third party nonetheless, and that's the big issue. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how many people feel about it. I know that there's been a lot of backlash. I know that there is a change.org thing up for the eRUC to can it, or at the very least get a really good look at it, get some public consultation in, because I'm pretty sure they haven't put in public consultation. See what that'll do. There we go. Just back it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, but basically they really need to consult the public, so us, on this whole matter, because it is not, it just doesn't sound right. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for now. Again, the eRUC thing isn't quite as bad as the Online Safety Acts, where they masquerade it as a Online Safety Act, but in reality it's just another way to get our ID, turn us into an online fucking state. I think that really needs to be contested, because if it isn't, then things are going to get really bad real quick, and you're going to have mass censorship, people literally being arrested for having opposing views to the government about, it's going to become a UK becomes North Korea, New Zealand becomes North Korea, China, it's just going to become a communist state. And no thank you.